Elon Musk might hold the record for the largest loss of personal fortune in history, but SAM BANKMAN FRIED, popularly called SBF, holds the record for the largest one-day collapse of personal fortune in history. The 30-year-old went from being the billionaire CEO of FTX, who would go down in history as being a crypto hero, to being a crypto villain with barely any money and lots of lawsuits to his name. But like with every story like this, SBF started out being neither a hero nor a villain. The son of two Stanford University professors and a graduate of physics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, it is possible that SBF's background lent him some credibility when he eventually launched out. Upon graduating in 2013, SBF worked with Jane Street Capital as an ETF trader. He then quit his job in 2017 and immediately took up a position as the Director of Development for the Center for Effective Altruism. His time as an ETF trader with Jane Street might have inspired him to start his own thing, because in the same year that he left them, he founded Alameda Research. In all the chaos of the FTX collapse, you must have heard Alameda Research mentioned a number of times. That's because Alameda Research, a quantitative trading firm, would go on to serve as the parent company for FTX and be unnecessarily intertwined with its finances. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. SBF, alongside co-founder Tara McAuley, started Alameda Research in September 2017. And in January 2018, he decided that he was interested in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. He did some research and found out that Bitcoin was selling higher on Japanese exchanges than US exchanges. So through Alameda Research, he bought millions of Bitcoin on US exchanges and sold them on Japanese exchanges for a profit. This worked so well that in 2019, SBF decided to take things a step further and create his own crypto exchange, FTX, using the profit he made from that venture. The exchange is headquartered in the Bahamas, definitely because the country is a tax haven, but it ran from offices in both Chicago and Miami. As far as the business model went, FTX was targeted towards high-risk traders who were looking to make leveraged bets on crypto. It offered them lower trading fees compared to competitor platforms. FTX became an instant success, attracting some of the biggest VC crypto investors not too long after it was launched. Binance, for instance, invested a huge sum in the company only 6 months after the exchange took off. FTX continued to be a success, rising through the ranks of top crypto exchanges and pushing its CEO through the ranks of richest people on Earth. And all of this was helped by the crypto explosion of 2021. Then in January 2022, when most of the crypto market was reeling from the drastic dumps that the crypto market had started to take, FTX was able to raise $400 million in Series C funding, pushing its valuation to $32 billion. This also established SBF's position as the richest crypto investor in the world and established FTX as the second largest crypto exchange by volume after Binance. With all this money and power, SBF and FTX made a lot of noise. In fact, before the $32 billion valuation, SBF was already doing a lot of things. He was one of the key funders for the Joe Biden campaign and remained financially instrumental in Democratic political causes after Biden became president. He even mentioned one time that he was considering investing $1 billion into the 2024 presidential campaign, but he later called it a dumb idea. As for FTX, the company organized a crypto event in the Bahamas in May 2022, an event that attracted some of the biggest celebrities in the world, including Tom Brady and his then-wife, Gisele Bündchen, Bill Clinton, and Tony Blair. Then in 2022, as many crypto projects were struggling to stay afloat in the crypto winter, FTX came to the rescue. So SBF was basically the kind of billionaire that many people clamor for, helpful and generous with his resources. SBF was also considered as some kind of spokesperson for the crypto industry, or at least, that's what it seemed like. He cozied up to the US Securities and Exchange Commission, especially as they considered bringing crypto into compliance with US securities laws. In fact, while many crypto holders balked at the idea of the US government imposing restrictions on crypto, SBF championed the cause, even asking for tighter regulations than what was being considered. Rather than chasing after tighter crypto laws, SBF should have been more concerned about the laws of gravity because his empire was about to fall and fall hard. And it all started with a very damning CoinDesk report. For those who don't know, CoinDesk is a dedicated cryptocurrency news site. And on November 2, 2022, it received an anonymous message from someone in Alameda Research. The message was basically Alameda Research's balance sheet, which showed that most of the company's assets were in FTT, FTX's native token. The implication here is that Alameda Research ran the risk of insolvency and had been in that position for a while now. Here's why. Regardless of what your opinion is on cryptocurrency, you have to agree that it is characterized by volatility. This is why even stable coins are pegged to more stable assets like fiat currency and precious stones. So, with most of Alameda Research's assets in FTT, it meant that if the value of FTT dropped, the company would be insolvent. And this was happening in a period where the crypto market was down in the dumps. So understandably, when the news broke, many FTX investors got into panic mode because of the connection between Alameda Research and FTX. Before this, Binance, one of the biggest investors in FTX, had sold its stake in the company, receiving FTT in return. But after the news broke, Binance CEO, Changpeng Zhao, popularly called CZ, decided to sell off all of that FTT, which was worth about $2.1 billion. This happened on November 5, 2022, and by November 7, 2022, it was reported that more than $451 million worth of stablecoin had been withdrawn from FTX since the news broke. In the wake of this update, many FTX users rushed to pull out their funds from the crypto exchange, and in just a couple of days, the once giant of the crypto exchange market became a ghost of itself. On the 8th of November, SBF admitted that FTX was going through a bit of a financial issue and asked Binance to help them out. At first, Binance offered to buy out FTX. But the very next day, the deal fell through because CZ had apparently found out that FTX mismanaged customer funds. On the 10th of November 2022, FTX Digital Markets, FTX's Bahamian affiliate, had its assets frozen by the Bahamas Securities Commission after it was revealed that Bankman Fried was looking for about $8 billion in funding to save the exchange. That same day, the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation disclosed that an inquiry into FTX had begun. And that same day, SBF issued an apology on Twitter. Then on the 11th of November 2022, FTX filed for bankruptcy right after SBF resigned as CEO. While that is basically the play-by-play of what happened, some people are speculating that there were some deeper issues responsible for the collapse. One theory is that Binance CEO, CZ, was not happy with SBF because of his stance on tighter regulations on crypto, and that his decision to sell his stake in FTX and then sell off the FTT that he got in return was supposed to be his way of punishing SBF or getting him to see reason. CZ has mentioned, though, that Binance is not against anyone, but it will not be supporting anyone who goes behind the crypto community's backs to lobby against them. If Binance was, in fact, responsible for the collapse of FTX, it would have found in hindsight that it actually played itself. And that's because the collapse of FTX has hurt the validity of crypto exchanges, of which Binance is one, and the crypto market at large. The crypto market already did not have the best reputation among those outside of the market. So finding out that a huge crypto player was nothing but a scam would have solidified its not-so-good reputation. CZ understands this and mentions something to the effect in a note to his employees. Most likely, though, SBF and Alameda Research are responsible for their own downfall. And it's not just because most of Alameda Research's assets were invested in FTT. Some reports say that FTX had lent Alameda Research hundreds of millions of customer funds, which Alameda Research invested in risky assets, aka FTT. But this is yet to be confirmed. Whatever the actual reason, though, SBF and FTX soon found themselves embroiled in lawsuits. And by December 2022, 7 lawsuits have been filed, with most of them not having been filed against SBF alone. Three of the lawsuits named a number of celebrities that have been linked to FTX, including Steph Curry, Shaquille O'Neal, Naomi Osaka, and Larry David, claiming that they helped facilitate FTX's plan to run a fraudulent scheme. In the midst of all the class action lawsuits, the Bahamas took control of FTX's digital assets, and SBF got arrested and charged for multiple counts of fraud involving FTX. A new CEO was also appointed for FTX, and the new CEO mentioned to the U.S. House Committee that FTX had no bookkeeping and that the company was straight up just embezzling. On the 22nd of December 2022, a federal judge released SBF from custody, and it was agreed by federal prosecutors and SBF's own attorneys that he would pay a $250 million bond. What's more, he is to live with his parents in their Palo Alto home throughout the duration of the investigations and whatnot. Unfortunately, this whole issue wasn't limited to SBF and his companies. The effects of the collapse were felt by the wider crypto market. For one, it might have hurt the already fragile reputation of cryptocurrencies, as it kind of confirms to the skeptics that there is nothing trustworthy about these digital currencies. Also, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission recently announced that it would be intensifying scrutiny of and imposing regulations on the industry. FTX's collapse also sowed some seeds of distrust within the crypto market itself, as more crypto holders decided that it would be best for them to hold their cryptocurrencies in cold wallets instead of crypto exchanges. There was a bit of positivity that came out of this, though, at least for the holders. Other crypto exchanges were forced to reveal the content of their reserves to prove to their customers that every single token or coin that they have is backed to a stable asset. Whether or not the collapse of FTX will have an even bigger impact on the crypto market is something that we might find out as SBF continues to battle with the law. But I'll leave you to decide whether or not SBF's story is a sad one or not. With that, we come to the end of this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like it. See you in the next one.